So, these are the learning goals. The learning goal 3.1 is explain how historical and/or philosophical investigation of human experience reveals multiple views of the human condition. I felt that I needed to further define human condition, so according to Oxford Dictionary, that is the state or condition of being human, especially regarded as being inherently problematic or flawed. The Great Decisions article that I chose to use is Refugees and Global Migration, and the quote that I found was best representative of the goal is as follows. One view is that migrants contribute to the economy by bringing their skills, entrepreneurship, initiative, and creativity. They also, of course, accept jobs that locals don't want, and they accept lower wages. The other side is that migrants take local jobs, accept lower wages and worse working conditions, and use government services like schools, healthcare, and in some countries, welfare. Then there are cultural or nativist arguments, which are often used in Europe but also in other countries, that immigrants are diluting the country's culture or weakening the social fabric by creating other cultural or social problems. I thought this quote best explained this goal because it shows that there's many views of migrants, and that's really what this goal wants us to learn. So for the global topic, I chose the Holocaust because it was a big deal, and the Nazis really believed that the Jews were bad and didn't deserve to live, but that was really the only group of people that didn't believe in the Jewish religion, because most other religions and cultures saw this to be as horrific and horrendous. The second academic goal is describe international problems, achievements, and aspirations of the U.S. and other nations and cultures. I chose to use the Great Decisions article, European Populism and Immigration, and the quote I chose to use is, in the U.S., President Donald Trump unexpectedly rode into office by promising to deport millions of illegal immigrants and to build a wall along the country's southern border. So this shows that this is a problem affecting the U.S. and Mexico. And I also chose the rise of right-wing populism, at least in Europe, is mainly attributable to the migration crisis that began in 2015. I chose to use this quote because it shows that there's also problems in Europe, not only the US and Mexico. So I chose President Obama as the topic for the global topic because it said in the goal, it says describe achievements of the US. So I felt that this was a big achievement for the United States because he was the first African American president, which shows cultural diversity and racial diversity. The third goal is evaluate the effects of global interconnectedness on individuals, communities, businesses, and societies. I chose to use Decoding U.S.-China Trade, and the quote I used is, on the trade side, China sold the U.S. about $500 billion worth of manufactured goods in 2017, while the U.S. sold China about $129 billion. So that quote efficiently shows how there's global interconnectedness between the US and China's businesses. And then I also chose to use one stark recent example of the impact of a 17th century trade remedy on a 21st century supply chain can be seen in the Obama administration's 2010 tariffs on imported Chinese solar panels. The policy was meant to protect workers in the solar industry, but what happened was the opposite. It not only triggered a net loss of solar jobs, it decimated an entire domestic upstream industry and ceded significant market share to China. So this quote shows the negative effects of the global interconnectedness between US and China. So I chose to talk about social media for the global topic because I feel that social media creates the most interconnectedness throughout the world for any method of interconnectedness. It's used in so many ways. People expand businesses, you can do it for your individual growth, and it all in all connects many societies together. Goal 3.4 is to participate actively and productively as a team member and leader in a chosen area of community service for the common good. For example, I complete many volunteer work, such as I volunteered at St. Mary's Hospital. I volunteer at different elementary schools in Livonia for field days or for different events and activities going on. And I also do the Livonia Relay for Life, which is to raise money for cancer. So I feel that I participate actively and productively in the community. And the last goal is to develop a value for responsible citizenship and civic engagement. I felt that I needed to define citizenship, so that is a person who has the legal right to belong to a particular country according to Oxford Dictionary. And civic engagement is working to make a difference in the civic life of communities and developing characteristics to achieve that difference, also according to Oxford Dictionary. And examples of this include volunteering, voting, and participating in community events. I think that citizenship and civic engagement are so important for every individual because it's very important to have ties to your community and to help the greater good instead of just helping yourself.